Hello, slow parenting family from across the globe. Thank you so very much for joining us in another episode of our podcast, the Slow Parenting Podcast on Nostalgia Media. My name is Richie Adewusi. Um, well, a book of apologies for last week. We had some heavy technical um, challenges for which we couldn't come live. Okay, but then I'm sure you will have a lot of videos on the channel that kept you busy. But that's not saying it was okay for us not to have streamed live, okay, last week. So we're here today. And today we are going to be looking at, when I say a very important, it doesn't mean that other things we've been discussing are not important. But today we're going to the meat of the matter, okay? The emotional well-being of children and young people in a co-parenting situation. Okay. And today, it's a full house. And part of that full house, you've been hearing us parents, us adults, well, parents, let me not say adults, because the person joining us is also an adult, but it's not a parent yet. Okay. So you're going to be hearing from a member of that team. Yeah, that team, the team of children and young people. So we're going to be hearing from a young person what it feels like, the kind of emotional challenges that young people have in co-parenting situations. So welcome, but not just that young person alone. It's a full house again today. We have all the way from Ontario, Canada. Yeah, yeah. We have this Foyinsola Oyebola, a development specialist with her portfolio ranging from family health to community and family development. It's all in her portfolio. Okay, she's joined us all the way from Ontario. Ms. Oyebola, you're welcome.
For having me. Hello, viewers.
Thank you so much. And then all the way from, it's not down under, no, not Australia, all the way from that part, that eastern part of that of Africa, we have our specialist education, family development specialist in the house, Dr. Chikonda Imposa, from all the way from Malawi. Thank you, Dr. Chikonda, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It is always a pleasure. It was a difficult last week when we were not able to stream. So the disappointment is mutually felt for me as well as for you, our viewers. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome. And it's my pleasure to introduce a very special person. Everybody's special, I've said, okay? Everybody's special. But it's my pleasure to introduce a very special person to join us today on this live stream, on this podcast. And I'm going to be introducing Miss Wake Ogwike, all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. Wakego happens to be the vice president also, apart from many other things, as a vice president of Pipe Global. Pipe Global is a mentorship support program for young people that are enlisted in our parenting program. I will come to discuss, explain that a little bit more later. So, Wakego, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody here. Good evening.
So do you want to introduce yourself? Maybe I didn't say it well. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You said it well, sir. My name is Ogwike.
No.
My name is Ogwike Wakego Tomisi. I'm the vice president of Pipes Global, and I'm so happy to be here this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And then we have, I think Olutoyin is here, but I'm seeing Read Me AI meeting. but I'm not saying a name. So let's leave when Olute gets into the room again. Maybe she would highlight us and let us. Once again, my name is Richie Adeusi. I am the guy who sits here to tell you all the parenting stories. Okay, so, but today I'm not alone. We are discussing today co-parenting still, but specifically the emotional well-being of children and young people within co-parenting relationships or situations, okay? And I'm going to, I hope, okay, I hope you won't be angry if I said my first question is for
No,
you.
sir, you can ask something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, we've been talking, you've been following this live stream, following this podcast, and we can only assume, if you like, we can only postulate, extract, yeah? We are not you. We can't be you. When we say you, first of all, you're a young person, okay? And
yes,
secondly, I would say that secondly now by asking you the question.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about, not living with your mom and your dad in the same place?
Well, it it like I stay with my mom, and yeah, she gets to provide everything for me, and it it's not really bad because it's not really bad, but it's not all good also. Yeah.
No, we want to hear how you feel. It's not the good or the bad. Thank you. Thank you for that response, first of all. We're looking at the emotional aspect of things. No, okay. Wait, let me unpack it for you. Let me unpack it for you.
Yes.
First, I'm an old man. Yeah? Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
I watched the burial of my dad and my mom. But in spite of the fact that I'm an old man and I watched the burial of both of them, as I sit here, I miss them. Do you understand that? Okay. As I sit here, I miss them. If I do anything that I feel is maybe like remarkable or important, when they were alive, my dad was always at where I'm doing anything. So when I'm doing anything, and maybe I've just written a new book, I just released it and all of that, I still get emotional. Do you understand? About,
yes, sir.
Oh, I wish my dad were here. So it's from that perspective. It's not about whether you have all the things you need physically and all of that. No, but emotionally, because this is what this discussion is about today. Okay? The emotional well-being of young people like yourself, that for one reason or the other, you're not living in the same place with your mom, with your dad. Okay?
Well, emotionally, it has some effects. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, where's my dad? Like you go home, you can't see your mom and your dad together, and then you have to just tell your mom, and then maybe once in a blue moon you talk to your dad, and like you can't really communicate with both of them the same way because both of them are not like present the same way in my life, and yes, it has emotional effect.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. That's the aspect we're talking about. Said, the effects in your life from it's not the same. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So don't worry. I know it's not an easy. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but then they say there's no painless way to cure cancer. Yeah, and there's no other way than to talk about it here. It's challenging. What I just told you about myself is challenging on its own. Meanwhile, that's the way of the world. This is not the one that we use our, God has called them, but I still miss them. Okay, so thank you for that response. Thank you for being here. Mr. Ebola, you had Nwakego, and she said both of them play different roles in my life. It's hard. Um, you are a mother, a counselor, a mentor. What would you say would be some of those emotional challenges that young people have? Dr. Chikonde, I'm going to come to you after Mr. Ebola to say, yeah, those are the challenges. What do we do about the challenges? Okay, so that's what I'm coming to you with. Okay.
Well, yeah, thank you very much, Richie. Separation and or divorce. We've talked about this topic for the past how many episodes, but today we are hammering on a very, 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 very critical aspect of co-parenting, which is emotional needs of the children that came out of the marriage have been issue. And like you ask, a lot of them, a lot of the children don't even know uncertainties. A lot of them are confused. They are not sure whether their life will go as smoothly as it used to be, because let me come to think of it, even if you think they are not aware, they are aware of some strain. There is a strain in the relationship, there is some conflicts which might have been managed, but it still filters to them. So most of them, there is a lot of fear, they are afraid, they are confused, they feel insecure, they don't know, am I going to lose out, my education or all the needs of what I need to get, I used to get from my father, the kind of love, the father figure thing is no longer there. So they feel confused, they are insecure. They are overwhelmed with the transition, a lot of things happening at the same time. Today you are there, tomorrow you are in this house, next day you are in that other house. So these children it's so sensitive, so emotional for them. It's so emotional for them that they don't know whether their life will really be smooth going forward. So those are the things I see as some emotional challenges that
Thank you so very much, Monsieur. But Dr. Chikonde, what do we do? What do we do to bring stability to the children now? Not the two people that came together, decided they come together, wrote letter to God, we want children. God answered them and gave them children. And they didn't remember to write a letter to God to say, okay, we don't want the children. God can't even take the children back again. Okay, so what do we do, Dr. Chikonde, with the children? How did the children cope?
Well, I think, thank you very much, Dr. Richie. And it is very, very clear that there is a vacuum, a gap that is created out of the absence of one of the parents that the children do have. And the most important thing is to ensure that we will find a way of filling the gap. We may not replace a father. We may not replace a mother in anybody's life. But for sure, we will be looking at bridging the gap. And there are so many issues, so many things that we can do to bridge the gap. I will give you an example. When I'm home with my children, come from here, I just say, Mommy, I need a hug. And I'm not asking what has happened, what's going on, and all that. Lo and behold, there I am. I will hug my son. And I hug him, he will go upstairs to his room, continue whatever he was doing. And you are imagining somebody who doesn't have a mother and the father living in one room. Now, in this instance, how would they be able to get a hug? maybe they will the father has remarried, but they may not be going on well with the current spouse, partner of their father or their mother.
Yes.
So there are certain instances that we have to ensure that we will use technology effectively to try and bridge.
Okay.
But also, we also have to make the most of the time that you would have the children with you to create memories. Each individual is unique. So you might have 6 children, but you must be making time to spend quality time with each one of them. So whether you are together or not, create quality time. So I know my children. One would like to go shopping. So I will say, today I am going shopping with you. Another one likes to go for basketball. I will say, I'm gonna watch basketball while you are training. I will sit and watch and cheer, even though it is just training. So big quality moments that you spend time with each of the children so that you can bring the emotional balance. Make it easy for children to reach out to you as a parent. Even though you are not together, you may have grudges with your ex-spouse, but you are still the parent of the children that you gave birth to.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Chikonde. That's so wonderful. You're still there. I had quality time. The hug thing got me, okay? Mom, I just need a hug. Imagine if, and you don't ask questions, you don't say why. What do you mean? You are grown up. Why should I hug you? That is it. There's no need for question. And he got satisfaction from. Now imagine if he was the dad, if he was the mom and not there. I'm going to Olutoyin now. Olutoyin, make quality time. Watch basketball. Go shopping. Make yourself available. Now, the main thing that created this scenario is the separation or the divorce of the two individuals that brought these children to life. Okay? You are a conflict resolution expert. Abby? So now, my question is still going back to those two people. What should they do? What should divorced or separated parents do to, ensure that their children could still have a balance? I mean, in their own relationship now, not even just with relation, in their own relationship in co-parenting, what are the things that they could do to help the children have that sense of, balance and well-being?
Okay, thank you very much. It's really indeed good to be here again. I've listened to other contributors, amazing contributions there. And in looking at co-parenting, we have to look at different scenarios. For us in the conflict management area, we look at we build scenarios. Are the partners in another relationship? Are they married to other partner? This is going to influence a lot of things regarding the child that they shared, together. For quality time, I trained my first degrees in counseling. And it was shocking so many years ago to discover that in a week or in a month, a counselor will advise that is for even those who are couples within the marriage should spend at least 8 hours in a month with each child. And I pose to ask how many of us parents have such time to even give that 8 hours when we are within the marriage. So what if these parents, they are now with another partner, they are managing the partner and probably other children, and if the scenarios will determine a lot of things for us that we are into conflict management. If there are other children that they need to cater for, and maybe the number of children that are also shared outside of a marriage that they are co-parenting. Somebody has one, somebody has two, somebody has four. These are a lot of things that we factor in to be able to create time. What are events that the two of them needs to be there, and if one will not be available, how should that be communicated to the child? One thing I know that many parents do also is that at very certain level of their growth, they are supposed to be involved in making decisions about things that concerns their life, which oftentimes some of us will feel, oh, you are a child, we are your parents. A child that contributes to what will affect him or her definitely will be willing also to support. So in all of the decisions they will make, they need to know if it is okay with that child. If we cannot give 8 hours, we can give maybe 2 hours, and the 2 hours at what instance? What are the events that the child? And like I said, when you reached out to me, I was wondering, why should I be talking? But why shouldn't I also be talking? Because all of my profession, my educational pursuits have been around, helping people to cope in terms of being a counselor and then looking at conflict situation. As a child, I also went through it. I came out of this world where your mother needs to be out of the marriage to go and have you out there until you were in primary six. So what are those things that I went through? I listed a bit of what emotions. I think Mrs.
Please go ahead.
Moga,
No, go ahead. Go ahead
some
with
of the
them, please. Go
emotions
ahead.
that the child, the feeling of love. As much as when women are having pregnancy, we are always told to manage our emotions. The kind of emotions you carry even right from within, the child will pick it. As they also come as babies, the same way. Now, not to talk of, there are children that want to see their father. Some are lucky that even right from the womb, the father is talking. These children, they listen to us from the pregnancy. Now they are out there, they want a father. Some children, I will tell you, I felt it growing up, not having my dad. The day I saw him, he came to check me in school. I was already in primary six for our own time then. And I was, he's somebody I could be very proud of. But he was not there when we were doing prize giving day. Nobody, in terms of love, to show me love. Other parents are there clapping for their own children. Also, the area of acceptance. We have seen even where some of those who separate. That's why I said for conflict management experts, issues will come. Are there contestations over a child that probably the child is not even the man's own? If there are anything like that, the man might not show up. Even the mother might like to say, okay, I want to raise that child. I said it's not his own. So a lot of things we look into, establish them, and what are the parents' fears concerning really raising this child. And the child's fear must also be expressed. What are those things that now that daddy and mommy are not together that you will not like to see? And if the child passes it to the parents, they should be able to sit down together, which oftentimes, you see, when people separate, it comes to enmity. They become adversaries. They are not looking at the issue, they are looking at personalities. Which we always ask people, don't look at the person, what is the issue? And the way out. So if they can manage the time, manage the events, planning to say, oh, it's when so that I'll be available. And they try to keep this and they make that child feel involved, that sense of belongingness. For example, if the child, like I said, I'm painting scenarios, Mr. A and with Mr. B, I have two other children, and this one is the only one. Is she feeling the sense of belongingness in that home? If she goes to the other house to spend some time with the man and the new woman. So it's really a lot of baggage for children to carry. But because of the enmity parents that separate, some of them don't have that and a lot of things go in. So if people can lay that behind, and like we have failed, but we need to raise a child that will make it in life. I'm sure these children will be able to come up with emotions of joy, emotions of love. Some of them become, they become they are so overwhelmed by the way they behave to people. If you don't know their psychology, you will blame them. I wonder why is she behaving like that? Unlike a child that has full support right from pregnancy to growing up, and they are now separated. Some their parents make them suffer due to finance, and that can do a lot of things on a child. I'm in school, other parents have paid, the parents have not paid because something is happening between the woman and the man. So it's a lot of things for them to be accepted, to be loved, and to have that sense of belongingness to any of these two sides, which is a physical thing for them. So thank you. I would like to stop at that.
Thank you so very much. And at this point, I think this is a very, very good point of the uh, stream to play back for all of us the video we've produced for this episode, because again, it will help to itemize some of the things that are already been mentioned. And then it's a package you can keep, share with other people as you are watching us, as you are listening. We produce that video for you, if you are in that situation, or for you, if you have a friend, a family member, a colleague who you know would benefit from it. So we'll play back that video now on emotional well-being of children and young people in co-parenting relationship. When we return, we have so many questions already from the community members. When we return, we go straight into taking the questions so that to be sure that we deal with all of them, before we end the program. So stay with me, please. We'll be back.
Divorce or separation changes family landscapes, and children notice even small shifts in routines, expectations, or attention. These transitions can challenge their sense of predictability and belonging, making it essential for co-parents to provide clear support and steady guidance. Creating a nurturing environment is about more than simply managing schedules. It's about helping children feel secure, valued, and confident as they adapt to new family arrangements. Guidance, structure, and reassurance during these times can shape how children navigate change, manage emotions, and build resilience for the future. To get the most from this series, please subscribe to the #SlowParenting podcast and turn on notifications. Our videos and live streams give parents practical strategies and resources to make co-parenting more manageable while keeping children and young people's well-being at the center. As Dr. Richie Adewusi explains in his book, Effective Co-Parenting: Strategies for Success, it is important for co-parents to recognize the impact of divorce or separation on children's emotional health and well-being, and to provide the necessary support and reassurances. Here are 5 key strategies that would enable you, as a co-parent, to do exactly that. 1. Acknowledge and validate emotions. Children may have strong reactions to changes in family routines or living arrangements. Co-parents should listen attentively, acknowledge their feelings, and reassure them that both parents remain committed to their well-being. Validation helps children understand their emotions are normal and supported. 2. Maintain predictable routines. Clear routines across both households give children a framework for daily life. Consistent school runs, meal times, homework sessions, and extracurricular schedules provide structure and allow children to anticipate what comes next, reinforcing a sense of stability. 3. Coordinate parenting practices. Aligning approaches to discipline, rules, and expectations across households would reduce confusion and prevent unnecessary conflicts. Shared practices signal to children that both parents are working together, even if the personal relationship gets changed. 4. Foster open and respectful communication. Children and young people should feel comfortable expressing themselves and asking questions about changes in their families. Co-parents should encourage dialogue, actively listen, and maintain a positive tone when discussing the other parent. This preserves children and young people's trust and strengthens their emotional security. 5. Prepare for transitions and special events. Shifts between homes, holidays, and family celebrations could present moments of uncertainty, and as such, advanced planning, clear explanations, and consistent reassurances would allow children and young people to approach these situations with confidence. Thoughtful coordination ensures transitions feel manageable rather than disruptive. Supporting children through transitions requires intentionality and preparation. By validating feelings, maintaining routines, coordinating practices, encouraging open communication, and planning transitions carefully, co-parents would foster an environment where children feel secure, understood, and empowered to adapt positively to change. These practices also help children develop confidence in their ability to manage change and understand that they are supported by both parents, no matter the circumstances. Over time, consistent guidance reinforces trust and strengthens their emotional resilience. By creating predictable, nurturing environments, co-parents can help children and young people feel safe, valued, and equipped to thrive despite the challenges that come with separation or divorce. Thank you for watching. If this video is helpful to you, please like and share it, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Kindly share with a parent who may benefit, and stay connected with the #SlowParenting podcast. You can also explore our videos and live streams on the #SlowParenting podcast YouTube channel for deeper conversations on supporting children through co-parenting challenges. Please subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated on all episodes in this series.
Okay, you've seen the video, and then I want to believe that you'll find some of the issues raised there useful. And then, like we appealed, if you find the video useful, even if not for yourself, be somebody you know that it might cheer up, either a child, a young person, or the couple or the parents that are involved in that relationship. Okay. It's a challenging relationship to be in. Okay. I, shared her experience. I shared mine. Okay. Before I ask the question, let me also tell you, I know how it feels like to live apart. In a situation where both parents are not there. Okay. All right. And I run another podcast I've told on the issues of Nigeria and Biafra and the world in Nigeria in those days. Okay, we're all living nicely because different things, different situations, different scenarios can lead to people not being in the same place. Different things can cause separation. It might not necessarily be quarrel. Okay, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be that they quarrel or that they divorced. No, in my own case, the Civil War. My father was from one part of Nigeria. My mother was from another part of Nigeria. Meanwhile, all of us were living in the part of Nigeria where my mother came from. Okay? So, and then the war situation arose. People from the part of the country where my father was were being killed. Yes, killed in the part of the country where his in-laws are from. And meanwhile, his in-laws that were in his own part of the country at that time too were being killed. So people were running back to where they originally came from. So my father had to leave the southeast of Nigeria and return to the southwest of Nigeria. We lived all through the horrors of that civil war with our mother. So I'm not talking about something I don't know how it feels like. It wasn't about a quarrel. Okay? I'm sharing this for a reason. I want a hug. I'm going there. Okay? I'm going to that. I want a hug. The Nigerian Civil War lasted for about 3 years. I was a child of about 7 years when it started. I was about 11 when it ended. Has it ended? Anyway, but that's not what our topic here today. Now, when there were situations, you know, our mom would always say, wow, if only your father were here now. Because you see, in that video, we talked about don't say negative things about your partner, even if they are not there. Okay? With your children. So we were with our mother, but all the images we're having about all the memories were, Dr. Chikondi also talked about creating memories. Okay? We were children, but the remembrance we had about our father was always, our mother was like, if your father was here now, this wouldn't be like this. So we had that ingrained in our heads as we were growing up. So it wasn't as if he was not there physically, but the person that was with us made it worth our while. Like all of us were missing my father, including herself. Now, imagine the scenario of a war just ending. The war just ended, 1970. We were in the village. That same 1970. When our father arrived in that village with a driver, he was driving a a Volkswagen car at that time, all the way from Lagos. Can you imagine the confusion, the kind of stress he would have gone through to drive through military roadblocks from Lagos, 1970 Nigeria? It was like we had seen God. That's ingrained for all of us. From our mom to ourselves, it was like the entire village was, because he was not in the village. He was like a likable person to his in-laws and at that time, So when uh, when my dad held me, I still feel goosebumps when I remember it today. I mean, as old as I am, after those 3 years. So I understand. So the issue of talking about being with our fathers, our parents being together or not being together, it's not necessarily because there was a quarrel or there is something negative about it. It's just that for whatever reason, people live in different countries due to work, due to school. People live in, different cities in the same country due to work, okay? Me, at a point in time, I lived in different I was in the different city, and my children and their mom was in a different city. I was shuttling. So it can happen. So, and those times, somebody will come and hold you and say, Dad, oh, I missed you. And it's for real. Okay? So we are not talking about fables here, and we are not putting anybody on the spot. We're saying, for real, how do we feel? We were some people's children. Well, if they're alive, I'm still their children, but they are not here. Some of us are lucky. We still have our own parents, even as parents. Okay. So we're still some people's children, as the case may be. So we're going to go into taking questions from community members. Okay. The first one I'm going to take here is actually the one that came in just like, they said, not every separation is irreconcilable, please. It could happen for other reasons. Yes, I agree. Olutoyin, do you agree? I think I just touched on that even before reading the issue here. Yes. He said, not every separation is irreconcilable, and it can be for, yeah. Is that,
Yeah.
how do you see?
I agree to that, and I think I experienced it. Like I said, my parents were separated from right my pregnancy. Maybe at some point I saw my father one time is one or two events, and my primary six, everything hooked back until he died. So some, for some reasons, they need that separation. Maybe where you talk about domestic violence, that they need to pull them apart so that at least they have time, they have room to look at what is wrong, and if opportunity comes, they will know how to mend their ways. So some, yes, it could be just for a short time, for a period of time. The short might be some people 1 year. The short might be for some people maybe 6 years, and some maybe 10 or more. But we have seen cases where they came back and it was sweeter than it was.
Okay, thank you so much. But Chikondi, how do children typically react emotionally to divorce or separation? I believe you have counseled so many families in that scenario. That's why I'm directing this question to you. Yes.
There's a myriad of reactions. It's a mixed bag. For sure, there is no child that is happy. So that one, we all agree, child would be happy their parents have separated. But when the child sees that there are constant fights, their mom or their dad is in danger and all that, maybe they get a kind of relief to say, okay, that now that mommy or dad is not here, maybe mommy or dad will have peace. A kind of relief. If you are constantly watching your mom and dad fighting, the relief comes when they have separated. That emotion of relief is there. There is an emotion of betrayal, feeling betrayed. That my mom or my dad was supposed to be with me, but they are not with me. This is when the separation is not well understood. The children don't understand what's going on. We have just seen mom pack, or we have just seen dad pack his bags and gone. And when we talk to him, oh, I'm not coming back there. So what's happening? They feel betrayed. We are in this family. We got into this family, and the people that brought us into this family have decided to abandon ship. So there is that emotion of feeling betrayed. There is the emotion of anger. The children feel angry that mom and dad cannot be together. Now, there is separation where a parent or one parent is living in one city or one country, and the other is in the other country or one city. Like I am here, my husband is in the United Kingdom. We are not separated. We can't call that separation.
Okay.
We are just living apart, but it's not separation. So separation is when people have agreed we can't live together, even if we are in the same city or same house. Some people decide maybe we just move rooms. We can't be in one room. Maybe I be in the other end of the house, the other person, the other end of the house. Those things children see. And the worst feeling that the children have, sometimes they feel like it is their fault.
Wow.
Sometimes children feel it is their fault their mom and dad are not together. And parents that are co-parenting with mutual understanding that they are separated for reasons safety, or they don't agree anymore, and all that, need to be very careful that children will not grow with this feeling that it is for this for me, for my being, that my mom and dad are not together. Because sometimes actually you will find that parents actually separate because, or maybe one girl or got pregnant and they don't want to be ashamed that their daughter is pregnant, and they think it is the mother to blame why your daughter at the age of 17 got pregnant. Where were you? How were you doing your mothering and all those kind of stuff? So that child grows and understands, my dad could have been with my mom, but because of what I did. So that feeling is, and there is also sometimes, because sometimes some separation is very dirty, very brutal. By the time the parents are finding space now to breathe, they will have, the children would have felt rejected and isolated. A family is supposed to be a unit that is bound together with codes of love. But where separation is happening, people do not slaughter chickens, they don't slaughter goats to eat, to celebrate we are separating. But when people are coming together, there is that celebration. So the fact that there is no celebration, it is not like it is an eventful, it is an event full of events, where
Yes.
the events are sad, dirty, and dirty words, angry words are thrown around. And sometimes these words can also be thrown at the children and hurt them. So the final feeling the children feel is hurt. They are hurting. They are hurting. They are heartbroken. They need the healing. Their hearts need to be healed.
Okay, thank you so
I think
Oh, okay.
I will stop.
Thank you so very much. Ms. Oyebola, I have this question said, how do co-parents prevent their children from engaging in negative habits to escape the feelings they're having?
The children engaging in negative habits.
Yes, from the feelings that they're having. Well, this is just how this community member put it. Say, how do co-parents prevent their children from engaging in negative habits to escape the feelings they are having?
Okay. I think to start with, like the last speaker said, the children will come with different emotions. And it is important that we help them, support them, appreciate the fact that yes, it's right for them to feel the way they feel, and that it's important, it's normal, because it's a transition period that they need to live with. And it's right to feel sad, to be angry, but that they should show the fact that they are there for them, to support them at every stage of the way. Now, in monitoring them is also important, because they will be moving from home to exchanging location. While they are with either of the parents, there has to be close monitoring of these children. Allow them to express the way they feel, because it can translate into negative habits. It can translate into hating their colleagues in school, into hating the environment, even into hating the institution of marriage. They might think that it's not worth a while, because after all, my parents had it and it didn't work well for them. So you have to really be observant, and whenever they are with either of the co-parent, the two parents, the co-parent need to agree that they are going to be mutual. There's going to be mutual agreement between the two of them in supporting these children. Whenever, and there has to be consistency. Let's not say, okay, my side is better. Your side, anytime he's with me, he's getting the best of life. Is as against when he's with you. Let there be uniformity in the way we care for these children, and also the parents will try and manage their own conflicts. Don't put their conflicts right in the face of these children so that they don't see it as part of life. If you have anything that is burning, it's either you use other means of communication. If you are going to, if verbal communication is going to be a problem whereby you go out of the way, you are enraged and you cannot manage your emotions, you can text, you can send email to the other party. Because if the child is with you and you are fighting, either on the phone or you are yelling or shouting, they pick up all these habits and they think it's normal. So how they manage their own emotions, how they manage themselves when they have a communication or interaction together is very important so that children don't pick negative vibes. And then when these children or either the child or the children is with either of them, being observant to see that when they are exhibiting any of these negative vibes, calling them and asking, you are a bit quiet, you are withdrawn. Why? Because some of them are withdrawn. Some of them might even decide to they may go into drugs because if they think that they are not happy and maybe peer pressure, they say, okay, why don't you try this? It will elate you, you'll be happy. The parents need to be very observant because they have to appreciate the negative impact of their action on these children and must look out for all these negative vibes and nip it in the bud immediately whenever they're seeing signs they are not eating well, is not sleeping well, is angry, is showing signs of hate. They should call the child and say, okay, I know it's normal because mommy is not here. But please, is anything wrong? Can you share? Can we talk about it? So, and it has to be a continuous thing. It's not a one-off thing that you do today and you forget because the children, it's going to be a lifelong thing that they're going to start continue to exhibit some emotions that might translate into negative behavior later in life.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Bella. And Olutoyin, I come to you now. He said, this community member here says is talking about therapy. He said, do children of divorced or separated uh, couples always need therapy? I mean, that's the way the person put it. Or do they need therapy? Should they always need therapy? Olutoyin. Olutoyin, are you with us? Okay, it's like she's frozen. It's like Olutoyin is having some audio. Dr. Chikondi, the children of separated or divorced parents.
Because, because of the economic situation, we
Okay.
have some men out there, they are in Lagos, the wife is in Maiduguri, or they are in Lagos, the wife is in New York. So some instances have even separated people who are still living in New York. At the moment that happens, already there's a problem, and the child needs coping mechanisms. So one will advise that the child needs to see a therapist, a therapist on our own and not with the parents. And why am I saying this? So that the child will have that freedom to express all that he or she needs help for. It's quite important because it will help for the child to list those things that are fears, those things that are interests, and things that are his or her needs that need to be met. And with guidance, will be able to put himself or herself in the right direction. Sometimes the parents might not be able to do it. We all agree that oftentimes many of our parents who are separated or divorced, it's more like cat and rat. Some don't want to see. So while they are battling dealing with each other, they should think of the child. So this is where the therapy will also be very, very important for that child to be able to cope because the parent cannot sit down. The father is sitting down and blaming the mother is sitting down with her and blaming the father. that can scatter a lot in a child. So in terms of neutrality, I will advise that the therapist help that child to cope with the situation that he or she finds himself.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Chikonde. I'm going to be firing or directing this next question, which is going to be our last question from the community here. He said, what's the best way to get children to open up about their emotions in co-parenting situations?
For me, the most important thing is to be non-judgmental. Allow them to be who they are.
Sorry, Dr. Chikonde. Sorry, Dr. Chikonde. Let me put a little bit meat on that. Okay, not you now, but I'm going to use the story you told us earlier about your son wanting a hug. Okay, let's say you are in a separation environment, a situation, and you come home, and your son walks into your room and says, "Mom, I want a hug." I want to believe that your response would not be the same as not asking what happened. Okay, that's the meat I want to put. That's the direction I want to, look at this from. Okay, how do we get it, them to express how they feel? He has embraced you. Him to go. Let's say you are not all of you are living together. You will say, okay, just go.
Yes, this is where I'm saying to be non-judgmental.
Okay.
The children that are able to speak, they will be speaking to say, "Mommy, something is not working very well." If they need a hug, you give them a hug. Questions, don't judge them. Why do you need a hug? Why must you come to me for a hug now? This, what? You don't know what I'm going through. All this kind of stuff. That will make them recoil and go back into their cocoons, and you have lost them. So let them be who they are. Let them express themselves. Give room for them to express themselves. And if they feel that there is a safe space, provide that safe space that they will be able to.
How do we provide that safe space? How do we prompt them to be able to, I understand the bit of leave them, don't be judgmental and all of that, but when we are not judging, it doesn't mean that something is not going on with them. No. So how do we get them to have that feeling of, Mom, something is going on? How?
It is first and foremost to watch your emotions, you as the parent, because the emotions that you have, you can impart them to your children, but also you could be angry because of your separation, because of the circumstances surrounding your separation. So watching your emotions, and sometimes you would be coming from a very difficult, challenging, even work situation. It has even nothing to do with parenting whatsoever. But now understand, I am the only parent around. I am both the father, I am both the mother. In me right now, maybe over the weekend, maybe next week they will go to their dad or their mom. But for the time being, I am all that in one person. So leave your baggage. When you leave your baggage, the way you are feeling tired, stressed, hurt, depressed, and all that, try to leave that one aside. And that space that you will create will come with a positive vibe. So that the positive vibe that you bring across, they will receive it, that, oh, Mommy, you know, you don't want children to be saying, today, I don't know how mommy has woken. Today, she has woken from the wrong side of the bed. She is just shouting at everybody doing. So the space there, you haven't, oh, we don't know how that, you know, since we don't know what has happened with daddy, maybe he doesn't, his deal has gone sour, his contract has gone south, and all this kind of stuff. That's why he is so like almost beating. You can hear you create a vibe that is going to be positive, that is will be welcoming, that the person who wants a hug can enter, can stand by the door and see you and say, even though I want a hug, I would be asking for it. So make it that I want a hug will come out of their mouth and they will actually receive the hug. So that is the creating of the space. We are human beings. Being aware that there is something that is actually affecting me personally. So maybe if they are even out of a good age, you should be able to say, you know, my children, today at my office, my boss was just shouting at me. I don't know even what I did wrong. So actually, as you see me, I am worried. Why was my boss shouting at me? So if you see something, it's not about you. It's where I am coming from. That's why I just want to explain. So be transparent with the children. And so that when they are coming and they are knowing, no, you might even find that they will be the ones that will provide you a shoulder to lean on. They will say, Mommy, you know, Daddy, don't worry. You know, we will pray about it. Oh, we will do something about it. Oh, but don't worry about this. Let it not bother you. So, and I want to say to you that children bottle up a lot of things. And the question that earlier Lutoin tackled was about the behavior. How do you deal with when they bottle up things? It comes to a point of elasticity, breaking point. So you don't want your children to come to the point of breaking. So instead of letting them bottle things, allow them to bring them out, so that it shouldn't reach a point of breaking elasticity point where it breaks. And when it snaps, nobody would like it.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Chikonde. So for those insights as to how we could help our children. It says it's all about positive, positive vibes from ourselves. Okay, creating that enabling environment,
Recording
or creating
stopped.
the enabling environments that could make young people or your children feel free. Not they see you, I want a hug. They see your face as they're coming and say, no, this hug, no, this is, I don't want it again. Go away now. Okay. Let them be able to approach you, be approachable. Okay. Even with your own challenges, just know that they are not the cause of or the causes of your issues at work or in the traffic or at the marketplace. You know, we used to say that, remember, as a parent, whether co-parent or not, you're on two shifts, the work shift and the home shift. When you have done your work shift, okay, leave your work chores, whether it's when you go to the market, you went to work, you went to be a salesperson, a purchasing officer in the market, that's work. Even if it's for your domestic need, that's work. All the fight you would have fought in the market, the one you fought in the traffic about anybody bumping, leave them at the door. Okay, when you walk home, it's easier said than done, but we're just admonishing you, please. When you arrive, especially in situations of co-parenting, okay, you've heard from all of our resource persons today. The children are going through different emotions, different things. It's our responsibility to find ways to help them to unpack. You don't want the gully sack to fill up and burst. No, don't even let them leave anything remaining inside the gully sack. Create environments that help them to empty the gully sack whenever they see you. They want to tell you something. They want to express themselves with you. Okay? That's how we will end it for today. Okay? It's been a very, very interesting episode for me. I don't know about you, Bola. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your very insightful contributions. Thank you so much, Mr. Ebola. Thank you. God bless you. And Dr. Chikondi, thank you so very much. We appreciate all your contribution. And Olutoyin, we thank you for all the insights and all the perspective you brought here. We want to express our appreciation to Nwakego. Maybe for some technical reasons, she um, had not been able to rejoin, but then we appreciate her contribution on the program and her pairing on the program. Thank you so very much to every one of you on TikTok, all of you that sent us gifts and then like the stream. If you have not subscribed, please do us a favor. Subscribe to the program. It's free, okay? And then if you find any of the videos useful for anyone else that might not have been opportune to know about the channel, feel free to share our videos. At least for now, you can do that. We're not charging you money now to say, please subscribe, okay? Thank you so much for being part of our show today. We'll be here again, same time next week, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US and Canada, and then 7 p.m. West African time, including Nigeria. Till we'll come your way again. Bye-bye. See you in the next one. Bye.